All right. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabby.
And I'm Charlotte.
And today's video is a little bit different. We're actually comparing what a refresh looks like for the 2024 versus the 2023 Kia Sorento. And can you guess which one is which?
It's really difficult. We know that
really
you'll
hard.
never figure it out.
So we're trying to make things a little bit easier by pointing out exactly what has changed for the current model year versus the outgoing model year. We're also going to talk about what things you can get and what trim levels and try to simplify it as best possible. That way, if you are in the market for a new Kia Sorento, you know exactly what trim you want. Now, Charlotte, why do we do these videos?
We do these videos for 3 different reasons. The first one is for those who may own a Kia or Hyundai vehicle. We want you to be your own experts on these vehicles. The second reason is if you are shopping for a new or pre-owned vehicle, why not just put Kia or Hyundai into your research repertoire? They've done a lot of really cool stuff over the past couple years. I think you'll be surprised. The third reason is that if you are in Ontario and are searching for a new Kia or Hyundai, why not buy from us? We do not charge any dealer markup. We sell at MSRP. Myself and Gabby are here at Brantford Kia, but we have Owen Sound Hyundai and Brantford Hyundai as a part of our group. And if you've made it through this intro, please subscribe to our channel.
It's a long intro, but we give good information.
Hopefully.
Sometimes. One thing I want to point out, because it's very rare that we have 3 different generations of the same car. I also have a 2019 Sorento in here, and I just want to quickly point out what the difference is between a redesign and a refresh. So this 2019 Kia Sorento was one of the last few years for this body style. So it's fairly large. You could get it with a 3-row option or a 2-row, and it had a V6 or a 4-cylinder engine. A lot of people went the V6 because of the 5,000-pound towing capacity and just the overall very, very smooth drive. Nonetheless, it looked good. It was nice for its time. And then came 2021. That's when we got this current Kia Sorento minus the updated emblem. We had the original Kia logo when it was first released. But you can see this vehicle is way taller, way bigger. You still have a 3rd-row option. Actually, you only get a 3rd-row option, whether it's a 6 or 7-seater is up to whatever trim level you decide. But a very, very sporty, mean-looking front end. Check that out. It's completely different versus that kind of bubbly style of the previous year. We also get more styling elements. So take a look at the sides. You get those blacked out emblems right over there, blacked out mirrors, and then blacked out wheels. So you can see that was definitely a current trend in the car buying market. Nice air curtains, LED lights. It looked really, really good. Now this is the 2024, and you can see the body is the same. We get the same engine powertrain options, so the 2.5 turbo or the regular 2.5. So nothing's changed there. Seating configurations are the same. But a refresh is essentially upgraded technology, a little bit of tweaks to the styling, but the body of the vehicle is the same. So at its core, it is still the 2021 release, if that makes sense. Charlotte, does that make sense?
That makes sense.
All right, so now let's take a look at them in depth. So we're only going to compare our 2023 and our 2024. Taking a look at the front headlights, this is where things really change for a lot of our customers and viewers. So you can see for 2024, we get this vertical stacked LED headlight, but you also get the beautiful amber that extends outwards into the grille. The grille is still a shiny black material. However, depending on what trim level you choose, this is one up from the base. It's by no means our top trim. That one is a top trim for its time period, so that's the SX. Depending on trim level you're going to get different styling cues. So because this isn't the top, it doesn't have a lot of blacked out or overly premium elements. However, you can see we still have a beautiful break in our satin chrome finish, which ties in nicely with the rest of the overall look of the vehicle. Already in one up from the base, we have front parking sensors. So sensors are standard in the Kia Sorento now. You don't have to move up a couple trim levels, which is really nice. And we get the addition of this radar sensor. So again, standard features, standard safety. We get smart cruise control with stop and go, meaning that this car has the capability of coming to a complete halt if traffic conditions worsen or become. We also get advanced forward collision avoidance, meaning that this vehicle picks up pedestrians, cyclists, and of course other automobiles on the road. So it does have the capability of stopping if it senses the risk of a collision. Really nice feature to have. Skid plates look pretty nice on the EX and LX trims. However, when you move up to the X line, that's where styling gets a little bit rugged. We did have the X line in the entry, so the original debut of the 2021. However, now for 2024, we have 3 X-Line trims or rugged styling trims. The X-Line, X-Line Limited, and the X-Pro. That's different. More on that in our other video, our trim released information video. We'll pin that somewhere once this is posted. So I know there's a lot of words being thrown around there, but I promise in our other video we simplify it. However, you can tell, front end looks very, very different. This one's not overly styled up like this one, but you do have the option to do so depending on what trim level you decide to choose on. For under the hood, they both share the same powertrain. It's a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. In the base model of the initial release redesign, you could get a regular naturally aspirated 2.5 liter, or you can get the 2.5 turbo. This year, you can only get one trim with the naturally aspirated. Everything else is turbocharged. So that means you get that 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, and a dual clutch transmission. For our wheels, we get 20-inch alloys and brand new wheel designs. If you were looking at last year's Kia Sorento, you may notice that you get this exact wheel on, I think it was 3 different trim levels, just different shades of black essentially. One was a really, really dark gray, this one's black. So we get some more variation now. I like to see it. Also, around our wheel wells, you used to have a shiny black surface. Now it is a black plastic. So again, nicer in our harsh Canadian winters where you get a ton of salt cooped up in there. I think it's more practical, especially if you're keeping this vehicle in the long run, less imperfections. We get a portion of black on our mirrors for both, with a little bit of body color, and our turn signal indicators, so that remains the same. You get raised roof rails or roof rails on every trim level of the Kia Sorento now. And doesn't matter what trim level you get, there's no keyed ignition. It's all push to start with remote start incorporated, which I love to see. On this one, you may notice we have a lot of satin chrome styling elements. So going around your windows. And then on our 2023, you may notice it's almost blacked out. It does have a bit of a chrome tinge, but fairly blacked out. That is still an option. Don't worry, you just have to go to the higher trim levels. Then coming to the back, this is where things get so different. Charlotte, can you show the taillight of the 2023?
Oh my goodness, it's so different.
Now look at the taillight on this one. We might have to do a zoom in. Guys, it's connected. Whoa. So big changes for 2024.
Jaw dropped.
Jaw dropped. Kia, you've done it. You've
Pick
done
it up off the floor.
No, but seriously, this is one of my favorite things about 2024. This is, again, one up from the base. By no means is this a cheap vehicle. I'm just saying the value is phenomenal. So, lift it open, it's a power lift. Before, in the previous Sorento, you had to go one below the top trim to get a lift gate. So, one up from the base, one below the top trim, better value in the 2024s, that's for sure, and the price did not change very much. I will talk about pricing towards the end of today's video. Space-wise, exactly the same. Seating configurations are the same if you're getting the 6-seater. So we're not going to go too in-depth on space. If you want to see what the space looks like, check out our previous video. We will tag it. All right, Charlotte, you want to talk about the inside?
Absolutely.
I kind of went on a little too long.
No, that's totally good. So it's going to be a little bit harder to show the differences between the inside of the 24 versus the 2023. So I think we'll start by taking a quick pan just of the 23. That way we can all have it fresh in our minds. I know we've done a couple of videos on the 24, but this way you can take a look. Now keep in mind again, this is the SX, so it is the top trim. You can see we have our nice screens there. And where you're gonna find the difference is definitely going to be in those screens, so pay close attention to them, and then also in the center. So let's take a look into the 2024.
Pause if you need to, guys.
Pause to subscribe.
Here's one thing right away, a lot less stainable surfaces or fingerprint surfaces.
Piano black.
Yeah, less piano black, that's for sure.
And that's something I absolutely love about this center right here. As you can see, there's no piano black in sight. It's all just a nice kind of matted plastic, so a lot easier to keep clean and looks a little bit better, in my opinion. But one of the biggest things, let's take a look at these screens here. So no matter which vehicle it is on the 24 Sorento you get, you're gonna get this beautiful screen setup, this huge supervision cluster. Whether or not you'll have the 4.2-inch screen or the larger screen, of course, is going to vary. And also you can see we're running some new software, and we also have simplified graphics when it comes to your digital instrument cluster. Now, of course, what we're gonna love is we're gonna love the inclusion of the new CCNC software. And of course, it has the ability for over-the-air updates and wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. There we go. So I absolutely love that. That is going to be a key feature, and of course that's going to be standard, which, hey, incredible. Another key feature is Smart Cruise Control. Smart Cruise Control is standard on all trims for 2024, which of course you can access from your steering wheel, also from the controls inside the vehicle. And this is also where it's going to be different, is we're going to have a switchable infotainment/climate cluster. So we did not, of course, see that on the 23. We saw it in the Sportage, and now it's being carried over also in the EV6. So here you can access your climate controls, or you can switch to your media controls. Now, if you do want it to default, you're just able to hold this down for a couple seconds, and then you can choose if you want it to be infotainment or climate, and it will default back. So again, another great feature. Down at the bottom, oh, you show the key.
All right, key's new, key's cool. Kia lights up.
Ooh.
Now that's a pretty cool Kia.
That was bad.
That was horrible. But one thing I will point out, like I said earlier, all trim levels. So you can get the entry, you can get the top. You're going to get push to start with remote start. Fancy new key fob. It's lightweight. It's not as big as it looks, so it fits in pockets still. And it's fancy.
It fits in girl pockets.
Yes.
It's girl pocket approved.
Yeah. And you guys know not a lot of stuff fits in our pockets.
Not a lot of stuff fits in girl pockets. Of course, there's going to be your simplified graphics. I really like how this looks. I like that you're still able to access all of your key information. It's going to show you the seating controls, or not seating controls, whether or not a seatbelt is in use in the back seat or in the third row. And also down here is where things are going to change too. So on this one is where you see the introduction of the wireless phone charger. We see that on the EX, but then also you have lots of options here for charging or connectivity. And then also again for charging with your wireless phone charger being here. And again, this is only one up from the base. And if I was sitting on the inside, I would not think that. I would definitely think that this is a higher end trim, just given all of the features that we have and also a lot of the beautiful design aspects. So absolutely love it. Yeah, other than that, we still have our normal drive and terrain modes. We have a heated steering wheel that has 2 levels of heat, which we first saw in the Kona. Auto hold. Sorry, I'm a little sick right now. Parking sensors, as Gabby mentioned, are becoming standard. And here's your backup camera too. Look how beautiful that is. Now, of course, our tailgate is up right now, but I can lower it from the inside. And now she's nice and closed. And look at how clear that picture is. Definitely a lot clearer than what we're filming on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Here's your wide view, and then also we're going to have our hitch camera. So that's really going to cover a lot of the items that are going to be new or different in the 2024. It's not a complete redesign, so if you're like, oh, I don't see that many differences, that's why. It's just a nice refresh, get her all nice and cleaned up for spring, summer, if you will. Yep. And Gabby, is there anything else you want to mention?
I will say it's smoother. So I did have the opportunity to drive this one from our compound, and there is a little bit more attention to the noise. So the road noise, better insulation, I guess you could say. It's called noise vibration harshness. That is what the engineers go towards to try to do better on. And I noticed a huge difference because this white one is actually one of our service loaners. So I was driving it the other week and I took it home. So I was driving on the highway, love that car, love the powertrain, it is so much fun. But driving this one right after, same powertrain, same everything, definitely a quieter, more smooth ride, I would say. So that is something nice to note. That it's not all aesthetics, there are some technical differences. And then of course the software is completely different. I really do like the application of the CCNC.
Yeah, let's take another moment for this software.
Yeah.
And another great element is that, Gabby likes to point this out, it is customizable. So say if you never use valet mode, you can move it to the rear. If you just want these key elements here, you can also slide down, and you can customize your quick controls too.
So it's so intuitive, but it's also simple. It's super easy to grasp, and the fact that these elements are big, so if you are driving and you need to access something, you have a huge button to press. If we went into that 2023, all of the icons are kind of, it's like a page of 12 of them, and they're all small, right?
But even if you struggle with finding or reading or finding everything there, you do have the option of a search feature, which is new.
Yeah.
So here you can search contacts, you can search media, you can search locations. It really is a full vehicle search. It's not just for one application instead of like going into your navigation, or you can even search features. It really is a very interesting application and use of that search tool that it's for the entire vehicle. And we haven't seen that yet for Kia.
Yeah,
well, we saw it on the EV9, I guess.
I feel like they're really listening to what the customers are saying. Everyone used to complain about piano black. Now, apparently, they're not listening about the Sunglass Holders.
Yeah, they're not listening that close.
Yeah,
but
they did hear you guys about the piano black, so that's really nice. And I will say, although this is plastic, it feels very, very premium. Like, this has a silky touch to it. Doesn't crinkle, doesn't feel cheap. It's solid. And that's one thing I love about the Sorento. It's always been a solid ride.
It feels very steady, very planted when it comes to driving it on the road.
Yes, it's bold, it's confident. I really do like the Sorento. All right, let's answer some questions. I saw a couple about hybrids and why the hybrids don't look different even though it's a 2024. And I'm ready to talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
That is a hot topic. So like a lot of you guys, I myself am not waiting for a hybrid. I did not order one for me, but I used to sell cars and I have customers that are waiting for hybrids. Unfortunately, the 2024 redesign is not translating to hybrids or plug-in hybrids for the Sorento. They will be changed over for 2025. So this is strictly gas that gets this facelift, just gas. So that is a little bit of a shame. I think it's largely because they can't produce them. Canada is getting just about none when it comes to plug-in hybrids for the Sorento. It's been rough. All right, Brad, there's a product that replaces your grab handles as sunglass holders. We want the real thing though, the OG sunglass holders.
OG sunglass holder, because that's one thing that's never evolving. Seriously. Like, I understand why they're not putting CD players or anything like that in vehicles anymore, but we're not at the point where our eyes are evolving like that.
Adele said, I'm just surprised that the 2024 Sorento is a 6-seater. Has it been a 6-seater before? Yeah, so starting in 2021, when they came out with this facelift, or this redesign, I should say, what we have on this white one, that's when they introduced the captain's chairs, so the 6-seater. In the past, so this other white one, this 2019, there we go. This one came as a 7-seater in the sense that a 5-seater or a 7-seater. So 5-seater, obviously 2 in the front, driver, passenger, 3 in the back, or the 7 seats, that configuration plus 2 in the very back. But no captain's chairs were available at the time. Sorry if that's confusing. I'm really bad at answering questions sometimes. All right. Black headliners for the 2024 Sorento X-Line. Not confirmed in the brochure, however, I would confidently say it most likely will.
Yeah, we can.
We'll confirm that. All right. Let's see. Did you say you used to sell cars? I used to be a full-time salesperson at Brantford Kia, yes, but now I am full-time content creator. No, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Media marketing.
Yeah. Marketing manager.
We don't know what we do.
No, we just kind of do it. Actually, why don't we talk about what we're doing this week? Our lovely, our lovely receptionist is on vacation, so me and Charlotte are reception.
We're moonlighting.
I was sitting at the desk, and the phone was ringing, and I was like, huh, I kind of forgot that I had to answer. Not
it feels normal. If I'm being honest, since I've been working here, I have always had 2 job roles.
Yep.
So this is the first time where I've only had 1 job role, and it's kind of throwing me for a loop.
Yep.
So I'm like, what's another job?
Yeah, this is crazy. You weren't answering any calls. No, I was. It just took me a second to register.
We are answering calls.
Our
don't
desks
worry.
don't have phones.
No.
Me and Charlotte typically don't get phone calls because we do not have a phone line at our office. So it was just a little shocking. But nonetheless. Does this have a 4-wheel drive switch? It does not. So it does not have a locking differential. However, it is a smart all-wheel drive system, meaning that once it senses, or I should say reactive all-wheel drive system, meaning once it senses a little bit of slippage, it'll adjust power to the rear. But for the most part, it will be front-wheel drive. Fuel efficiency.
Yes.
Heavy on the fuel efficiency.
Heavy on the fuel efficiency.
How pricey is the Sorento compared to the Sportage? So let's talk about what it starts at. I just wrote it down just so I'm accurate. Ooh. All right. So for 2024, it's just under $39,000 Canadian. It's $38,975. So literally just under $39,000. And then for your top trim level, you're going to be just over $52,000 Canadian. So not too different from the previous year. 2023 started at just over $36,000. And the top trim level, so the SX that we have shown here in the white, was just above $50,000. So yeah, not too different. And I will say the current Kia Sorento, I will say there's better value in the entry trim level. So although it might be at a couple $2,000 more to get the entry, you're getting a lot more in it that you would have had to go up anyway.
Go up further for, yeah. We've done a full walkthrough on the EX, the one that you actually see here behind us, and that was the one thing that we kept coming back to is this is a really impressive vehicle. It's incredibly economical for the features that you get for the price point. I think it's going to be very competitive.
Absolutely. So there was a time where this was already dating back to the old body style Sportage, where everyone would just kind of get the Kia Sorento because it was bigger, the price was super close. So they revamped the Kia Sportage. This is the Sportage that you guys see now. and people stopped buying the Sorento because they're like, wow, we like the Sportage better.
So now they're slipping in a little bit of a refresh too.
It's a constant battle every year.
And I think it's going to be really interesting seeing how the Sorento does this year because it is a more traditional style, and its sister vehicle is going to be the Hyundai Santa Fe, and of course that has had a incredibly drastic redesign.
Yes, very
where
different.
it's nothing like what Hyundai's done before, and we've done a video on that vehicle too. But I've yet to put them head to head, but that will be coming shortly.
Probably this week.
This week. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how both of them compare because crazy different styling, but sister vehicles.
Yep. All right, we should probably end off today's live video. We want to keep it a shorter one just so it's just the facts. Now, we want to ask you guys, would you move up to the 2024 model? Are you happy with what the 2023 offers? And what do you want to see in the future from the Kia Sorento? Please say Sunglass Holders.
Please say Sunglass Holders.
Please. Now, of course, if there's any questions we may have missed in today's video, please leave them down below as a regular YouTube comment, and as soon as we can, we will certainly answer them. Other than that,
we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be back with a Hyundai vehicle.
yep, take care. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.